Thank you, Hemil, for joining us today on Let's Talk Business series by RealtyNXT.
Thank you, Kritika, for having me over here. It's a pleasure.
So, Hemil, I've been understanding you're a civil engineer, right?
Correct.
So, I want to understand what was the personal motive, I would say, of frustration that got you into a deep tech where Aasaan was invented. What was the reason behind to being involved in such tech space where you can solve construction chaos?
So it's quite a story, I must say. I did my diploma, I did my engineering, worked with construction businesses, and I was placed at a PMC called as Turner on project called as the Statue of Unity. So L&T was a contractor over there. And formerly, I come from a Gujarati Banya family, and my father and my Tauji run a construction business together. So been into that space since I was of the age of 16 and even before that. And you know how it works in traditional families, right? Ke dhanda kaun sambhalega? And that was probably the reason why I was put into civil engineering at the first place. So the fate was quite much sealed. You do your experiences and then you have to come and take things over. While I was at Turner, there was a patch where I had to do document controlling.
Right.
One of our very close colleagues, we just lost him, and I had to replace that position for a certain period. What I essentially did at that time was took printouts, got contractors to fill those forms, then took those documents, scanned it through a scanner and uploaded it on Aconex, and then put all that data back in Excel to do analytics. This entire process I just replaced by introducing Google Sheets, and I'm talking of 2016 or 2015 actually. At Turner, I was awarded as a Employee of the Month for doing that. Back then I felt that I use Google Sheets with my roommates to do my monthly expense reconciliation, and such a small impact solved a problem at a level of L&T, at a level of government of Gujarat and Turner. And this was the era where your Uber, your Swiggy, your Zomato, your Flipkart, everything was becoming tech.
Right.
And they were all growing. So I really felt that the impact that real tech can create into construction would be next level, and it would take things to next realm. And at that time we had legacy ERPs.
Yes.
So when I looked out, hai kya market mein? So either there was Procores, Aconex and Fieldwires, all US based solutions. I was a little bit exposed to that because of Turner Constructions. And in India, you had legacy ERPs, and they were very cumbersome. On-prem solution, desktop-based, non-mobile friendly. So, and you look at engineers and you look at people who are working in construction. There's an engineer, there's a supervisor, there is a lack of awareness, there is resistance. There is so much of work. True. So there has to be something which is got to be user friendly. There has to be something which the user feels कि यार ये मेरे लिए एक additional काम नहीं है. ये चीज करने से जो college submissions की तरह I have to sit from 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock and me hours and V hours can be done while I'm taking a bus to home or taking a metro back home. So this led to the idea of building Aasaan. Right. That whatever has to be built has to be very simple, and it has to touch core problems. It has to be mobile first and magnify into end-to-end solution that can be used by businesses at various scales and levels.
Right.
So it all began from there. And we started with MVPs, and it's been 8 years now, where we've manifested into an end-to-end construction business suite.
But I'm very keen to know that these days we are noticing many founders choose a glamour vertical like fintech or e-com, right? So why choose construction space as a sector? Because what we have noticed, notoriously, it's not just slow and fragmented industry, but it takes time to scale up. It takes time to break the mindset, as you were also saying, right? So was it a vision behind this that you need to break all this mindset, or was it a calculated bet that you need to get into a white space?
More of what you mentioned first, and you think of it here. It was 2015 or 16 when I took this decision. I was 25 years old at that time. So this all came from the passion of solving a problem, which I eat, slept, and had been with. So it was not a calculated decision of building a huge business. When we began, it was about solving a problem. It began from a feeling that I have a roommate who is an IT engineer. He leaves for office at 10. He reaches back at 5:30. He goes to the gym. He plays on the PlayStation, and has his me time till 10, 11 and 12. On the other hand, I had to reach a construction site by 9 a.m. sharp because the labor has to be assigned at places. And on a good day, I could be able to come back at 7:30 or 8ish. So what is the difference over here? There has to be some impact that we can create on the lives of fellow brothers. And these are the things, these are the petty things which led to beginning of Aasaan Tech, and it is all driven through the fundamental purpose of solving a problem. Business to baad mein samjhe, right? I understood contracting businesses since I was a civil engineer. I had a legacy business. I never understood tech businesses. It took time, and we've been it's been a bootstrap journey here. As I said, I come from a Gujarati Baniya family. So business for us is synonymous to profit and revenue. The concept of fundraising, I could kind of ingest it by 2020. This is how the startup funding ecosystem works,
right?
And not going that route at a very early stage was also because I didn't want to thrive on the idea of fail fast. This is all that I know. This is all that I love. So I want to do something which creates value and build a business out of it. Reach a place where I am very sure of how I want to scale this, and then probably take that path of raising funds and spend a penny to earn more.
So for our viewers and even the founders and leaders and students who are watching this, how would you define Aasaan Tech in a very simplest term, and how Aasaan Tech is problem solving in a seamless manner?
Fundamentally, when I say Aasaan Tech, it is simple. Solve construction problems, bring simplicity in construction by using technology. What we have and further aspire to become is an end-to-end super AI construction business suite that is focused currently towards mid-market, towards SMEs, and is gradually taking charge in at the enterprise level. How it solves the problem is by eliminating the fundamental legacy IT problem of garbage in and garbage out. Alright, when you go and ask any person, any construction leader about tech implementation, his first concern is that data entry hota nahi hai. It is not about selling to the owner. He knows that he wants to adopt tech. He is totally in game with it.
True.
Fundamentally, it is about selling to the end person who has to enter data into the solution every day regularly to make the vision of consuming analytics and taking correct decision to mitigate time, cost overruns and increase top line. So selling to that person is important, right? So the problem of garbage in has to be eliminated.
Right.
How are you going to do that? In modern age, where we are all leveraging AI, and when people say, AI is a buzzword, आप फंडामेंटली ये सोच लो कि डेटा कलेक्शन और डेटा रिप्रेजेंटेशन यही दो चीज हो रहा है ना. सो डेटा कलेक्शन को AI को यूज करते हुए ट्राई टू मेक इट ह्यूमनलेस, मेक इट एज लेस human intervention as possible. So when the problem of garbage in is solved, then automatically what you're going to get out of the data that is coming in, the effective data that is coming in, so efficient data that is coming in is effectiveness. All right, so the dashboards that you look at, the reports that are coming out, the notifications that go to people for completing a workflow becomes starts falling in place automatically. Now to put a layer of to ice it on the top, you run all of that through a lovely LLM that sits on your construction business data and gives you simple actionable insights or simple actionable advice.
Right.
Okay, so I have Gantt charts, pie charts, bar charts, tables, and 50 dashboards to look at. But 200-word paragraph. Okay, abhi as a project manager, as a site engineer, as a quality guy, as a procurement guy, मुझे करना क्या है सबसे पहले जो वैल्यू क्रिएट करेगा. Apart from data entry, ठीक है, data entry तो होता रहेगा कि I have to create an indent, I have to create a purchase order, I have to order materials, I have to look at stock, prepare a stock report. That's all fine. But as a construction expert, when I start creating value, then I start feeling that I have done something really amazing today. I start feeling proud of myself. I go back, have a very sound sleep, and feel motivated. All right. So you have to look at it from a very holistic purpose, a little bit, from a lens of problem solving rather than building businesses out of things. Once that fall in place, the business is automatically gonna come, right? I mean, we all know कि success नहीं excellence के पीछे भागो, success अपने आप आएगी सब. I think it's pretty much synonymous, and in simple words यही है. That,
so in simple words, Aasaan Tech is problem solving in what way?
Eliminating or trying to mitigate data collection through manual processes, and whatever data representation happens,
right,
that is coming out as actionable insights. Apart from that, you have all the modules. There is we are eliminating silos, fragmented silos. We are eliminating fragmented processes by having all the modules in one place, number one. And number two, integrating very deeply through APIs with all the tabs that you operate on your browser. So you're using WhatsApp, you're using GST portals, you're using Tally, you're using SAP, you're using Google Maps, you're using Facebook. ये सब चीज़ के साथ हम API integrate करके we bring all the information that you need, crisp, simple, at the page where it is required, directly onto the system.
So when everyone thinks construction, the way you have said it in such a passionate way, that how everything can be manually put in a dashboard, so many dashboards needs to be put together in a centralized manner, right? So when I think of construction, and I'm sure our viewers would also agree, construction is equivalent to cement, dust, chaos, right? So where Aasaan Tech is saying that you have a pocket construction manager, right?
Correct.
What does this mean? And don't you think, I would want to know, don't you think that did you not get a complete push of against this idea by the construction people?
Yes, I did. In fact, I even get it at times now. So when you talk to investors and VCs, all right, most of the startups are backed by investors these days. So they say that you focus on one problem,
right?
And they have a very, very fundamentally strong reason behind it. That you focus on one problem, solve that, and then you scale across solving different problems, and then you kind of reach out that way.
True.
Back in 2016, when I started, as I said, that I was bereft from the concept of startup funding and finances. We started with a solution called as the Hajri app. Many people must be knowing that. All right, it solved the fundamental problem of daily wages worker ka attendance, payouts, and productivity.
Okay.
All right. So the idea was that what is there on every construction site? Labor problem to hai hi. Be it a builder, be it a contractor, be it a subcontractor. कहीं ना कहीं आके वो labor problem तो common ही है सभी जगह पे. So let us go out, let that spread across like a wildfire, and then we come back and convoy the pocket construction manager. So the idea was to build two tools, go out and spread with Hajri, and then push forward the flagship product and upsell it on the construction projects that are already using Hajri. Now that story also went south because as you know, I'm a civil engineer, so I don't come with a tech expertise. Tech had to be outsourced in the beginning. So at that time we had different people building these two solutions parallelly, and one of it failed. It never went live. So Pocket Construction Manager didn't go live back then. We went out, we sold Hajri, but the target audience who had to buy Hajri didn't have the tenacity to pay because they were small labor contractors. So they would pay an amount which could not even suffice expenses, 25% or 20% of the expenses that I had back in those days. We raised debt capital, infused money, and then made our mark by again reinstating Pocket Construction Manager, but it was a little late by that time. So the idea fundamentally was that where we wanted to scale in a way which is being suggested by investors these days. You getting it? To address your answer crisply, that I have been getting those objections. Why are you doing so many things? You focus on one thing. What is the hero feature? So if you have Pocket Construction Manager end-to-end है सब तो इसमें hero feature क्या है? I say that my customer, once he decides to onboard, he wants to parallelly work across all the problems,
right.
And he is more happy to have all of it under one roof. Alright, if he has 3 vendors, 4 vendors, someone doing HRMS, someone doing ERP, someone doing a CRM, someone doing a project management thing, it is so difficult, and it's a cumbersome for him to manage these different agencies as well.
True.
So the target audience that we are addressing is completely fulfilled by what offerings we have, and we position ourselves as an enterprise suite at this stage itself.
So what are the offerings by Aasaan Tech?
Fundamentally, you can think of it as a ERP,
okay,
plus a project management solution, plus a labor and HR management solution, plus a property sales CRM, pre-sales and post-sales,
right,
all under one umbrella, semi-dependent on each other. You take what you need, you leave what you don't. You spot your hair on fire problem, solve that with a crisp version of what is needed from all of these offerings, and then gradually build your entire ecosystem under one roof.
Right. But for example, a lot of real estate brands, right, they still are working on legacy software, and they always have this hindrance that would it work with our legacy software or not? Would it integrate with our legacy or software or not? So when it comes to this kind of conversation, where does Aasaan Tech stands?
I mean, great. Thanks for this question. And I, it is so modest to answer it over here. It was a little difficult when I was asked the same on the stage at the Construction Tech Day event. So this is a $1 million question rather, and we realized that we have to have a very broad landscape of integration. हम तो आसान बनना चाह रहे हैं ना. That is the fundamental thing. If someone is finding it a bottleneck that how it will go along with my legacy solution, then that problem has to be addressed and solved. So that was an important takeaway from the CTD event. And we integrated for a customer with SAP.
Okay.
We did it with Salesforce. All right. And there is an overlap of features. यार ये चीज आसान में भी है, ये चीज वहाँ पे भी है. So then we kind of tell them that you need to decide what is comfortable for you. We will we'll make the integration happen. So the tech part comes later. The problem solving part comes first. Is the team comfortable using the legacy solution? Bingo, let's go ahead with it.
Okay.
But most of the times we have got feedbacks that while there is a legacy system in place, they're not happy with it.
True.
There are few pain points which these legacy systems are a bit resistant in addressing and solving due to whatsoever reasons. Now that is one motivation for us and a requirement for them that not today but gradually over a period of time, when there is trust that has been built, when they are comfortable from migrating from a difficult solution to Aasaan, then that transition will happen. So it all comes back to your fundamentals. कि पहले आप trust जीतो, फिर business तो मिल ही जाएगा. Alright, so you have to make the consumer or the person who is using the system most comfortable.
Right.
Once he feels that my problems are going to get solved over here, there is an openness, there is a flexibility. And I'll tell you, for all the types of construction businesses, be it a contractor, be it a property developer, the requirements, they're 80% always there with most of the solutions that are there in the market. That 80 to 100 wala journey jo hai na, it is a very curated journey, because every business has its style of operating.
True.
And the solution has to fit in those, has to fine tune and fit in into those requirements. And very rarely should, it be another way around. कि नहीं हमारे सिस्टम में तो ऐसा ही है, आप अपना ऑपरेशन प्रोसेसेस को चेंज करो. Right. So when you are flexible with that and you've built your tech architecture that will accommodate these kind of fine tuning, then it kind of it takes some time, because you have to fine tune it for them. But then they kind of embrace it, and over a period of time they can easily migrate. And come on, we are in 2025 now, right? If we were talking back in 2016, 2017, there was too much of resistance.
Yes.
Now you see a Ola driver or a rickshaw driver who is using solutions like Ola, Uber, which is so difficult fundamentally. कि ये लोकेशन पे पहुंचना है, इसका पेमेंट ऑनलाइन है, कैश है, and to take him from here to there, then they have their different portals, कितना पैसा मिलेगा, कितना कट गया. They are doing it, right? The motivation of earning is the driver over there.
Right.
So there has to be a motivation. You cannot just go let this go by saying कि कंस्ट्रक्शन इंडस्ट्री अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड है, बहुत ही रेजिस्टेंस है, यूजर्स का यूज करते नहीं है, आप मोटिवेट नहीं कर रहे हो उसको. दे नीड टू फील दैट आई एम गोना गेट मोर टाइम फॉर माई सेल्फ, आई एम गोना गेट अप्रिशिएशन. दिस इज वन वेरी बिग थिंग दैट इज मिसिंग इन आवर इंडस्ट्री, that I'm going to be acknowledged, and these things will be the drivers for them to easily adapt towards tech.
So you said it's about the trust that makes them open and take the technology solution. But before that, I would also want to understand what I've understood for past few years in construction. The resistance is not got to do with just about fear of technology, but it's also got to do with the kind of work habit has been formed over the years, meaning everything has been happening in silo, right? So putting it all together in a centralized manner, that's what even any technology solution provides in a seamless, work efficient manner. So where do you see the resistance comes from? Is it from the labor side, or is it from the middle level management because of the skill set not being there, or with the hindrance of new technology coming in without understanding what this new technology is and just being skeptical about it? What exactly is the problem? Because as you said, there are a lot of construction technology solutions. It's just that what I'm trying to understand, where the major hindrance you guys are facing, because I would have thought that this sector could have been more efficient if the tech was adopted in a very well back-end and front-end manner, not just the legacy software wise, but sadly it's not that case, right? So where are we still, I would say lagging behind?
In my personal opinion, through this journey, I feel awareness is a very important role that, would drive adoption.
Okay.
A person who's entering data or is trying to make a mark in his career by joining any contracting or a property developer company, he joins a company with an aspiration of overperforming. All right, anyone would do that. All right, so he needs to be aware of how construction tech has revolutionized and made things much simpler. You go back from the stage where awareness starts. It's your universities, it's your colleges. So construction tech has, solutions, or teaching construction tech ke kshetra mein, it's just AutoCAD or structural solutions that are being taught.
True.
Okay, no one teaches, project management solutions or ERP solutions in depth as a subject. At max, it is a speaker, some professional expert coming for 3 hours, and a college arranging some session. It is very difficult for a student to consume the actual dimension of the value that can be created by construction tech in that much of a window. Now you join a company as a fresher, even in these businesses, for construction businesses that have adopted tech flawlessly, there will be a good learning curve for the person who is, joining these businesses and understanding the actual value that is being brought on the table using construction tech. And he's also expected to adapt them, adhere to them, and utilize it. But you look at the stats, I feel probably 1 in 50 or 60 construction businesses are completely tech driven. And, everyone is aspiring to be that. All right, as a business owner, if I'm a property developer, my focus ideally has to be 30% on operations, 20 to 30% on selling, and 40% on scaling the business.
Right.
Scaling will happen maximum through, by harnessing tech and, making processes optimized and trying to, see what else can be done. In an ideal Indian construction scenario, 65 to 70% time of a construction leader is spent in firefighting. ये बिल दे दो, इसका पेमेंट नहीं निकला, वेंडर नॉट ऑन टाइम, मटेरियल नॉट ऑन टाइम, and all that stuff. Scaling comes after everything is, done. And as a human being, if you've worked hard for 9-10 hours in a day, you feel that you've done a great job. You will come home, you will feel tired, you will say, अच्छा हाँ चलो यार आज तो मैंने बहुत मेहनत किया. Value create नहीं हुआ है. Right. So what is awareness नहीं है. तुम खुश हो तुम जो करके आ रहे हो, because you've done some work which kind of solved some firefighting situation. But you never thought of how these firefighting situations can be mitigated or eliminated.
True.
Right? Books में तो सिखाया ही है वो 4 quadrants, urgent, important वाला चीज. But when will we implement it?
And majorly in the construction sites, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the work is done on manual basis, right? So the way you quoted 9 hours, everyone is thinking they're doing a lot because half of the 60 or 70% is getting the manual things done, or manual things in a way to be sorted, approved, or a hierarchy created. So right now in 2025, do you feel the construction space is still in the same scenario when it comes to manual work, or have we omitted it below than 60-70%?
Defining a percentage, would be a very wide range depending upon, business to business. I'll tell you, in tier 2 and 3 cities, बहुत बुरी हालत है.
Yeah.
Right? Tier 1, and a certain part of tier 2 has been able to create awareness. Real India is tier 3 and below. Tier 3. Okay? So I think most of us living in cities are not even exposed to what real India is. If you go and see the contractors building roads in tier 3 cities, you will realize कि यार काम कैसे हो रहा है. It is all still documentation. It is all मतलब Excel अगर आपको आता है तो आपको जॉब मिल जाएगी वहाँ पे. ऐसा सिचुएशन है. So this is the documentation part, and the manual process is quite predominantly there. Now, when you take up that question from the perspective of tier 1 and 2 cities, so yeah, we've done good, from where we were. If I even look at half a decade to put on a line of comparison, 2020 versus 2025, I think, people have started thinking, consuming AI to a pretty decent extent. And, we are a huge country. So, implementing anything, even a demonetization led to such a big chaos because it has to go across all the widths. And in my opinion, for a country like India, innovation से ज़्यादा important distribution है. Right. I can sit in the in a room and laboratory and a boardroom and think of amazing ideas. बट वो जब रियल इंडिया कंज्यूम करेगा तब जाके एक होलिस्टिक ग्रोथ होगा ना, or else it will be much of a disbalance always. So and I mean it will take the conversation to capitalism versus socialism, but fundamentally somewhere it is over there. So it has been good. It has been good from the day I started till the day where we are right now. We are doing really good in terms of tech adoption. People have awareness. And it is because there is an all-round tech adoption in every facet of life that you are doing, you are pursuing, right? Like you want something, you get it within 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes these days.
Right.
Back in 2020 also, we might have not thought that something like this could be possible some day near. So yes, we've been doing well, but I think it's all over here. It's the attitude game, and it's top to bottom. A leader thinking right will enable every hierarchy below him think right. आज जो तौर तरीके से काम कर रहे हो वो लीडर ने ही सिखाया है, तो अगर एक नया तरीका आएगा तो वो उसी के थ्रू रोल आउट होना चाहिए. एटलीस्ट इन मिड मार्केट एंड SMEs, I have seen that leaders perceive tech adoption as something कि ये मेरे टीम के लिए है. ठीक है, मुझे तो जाना है, मुझे डील्स क्लोज करनी है, या तो सेल करना है, या तो लैंड एक्विजिशन करना है, लाइसेंसिंग के काम करने हैं, और मैक्स टू मैक्स कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को वर्क ऑर्डर देने के पहले हैव टू डू अ वेरी हेवी नेगोशिएशन. सो व्हेन यू रिस्ट्रिक्ट योरसेल्फ टू दैट मच वर्क, देन एंड यू थिंक दैट tech that is being implemented is for the team.
Yeah, that they will understand. They will figure it out.
उनके help के लिए हो रहा है. Exactly. It is for them to their. So the perspective of the leader over here is just कि data collection के लिए कर रहे हैं हम. तो जो Excel में हो रहा था वो अभी ERP में होगा. But ये सब चीज का end benefit क्या है? It is not tech डेटा एंट्री. Excel में हो रहा था, उसमें बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम नहीं था, वो भी डिजिटल फॉर्मेट में हो ही रहा था ना. The value is created when you are able to mitigate time and cost overruns by utilizing that data and taking strategically correct decisions. Until then, it is a nice data archive. कि आपका ऑफिस स्पेस अगर 5000 स्क्वायर फुट का था, जिसमें 1000 स्क्वायर फुट was spent in documentation archive that you burnt it down to cloud solution. तो ये चीज किया है, ये तो खैर ये तो है, मतलब ये implied benefit है, ये तो एक्सेल से भी हो ही रहा था. But you harness that and take a correct decision. That is where the entire circle ends, and the value is created.
No, I agree. But also, if we want to understand which was the marquee project or developer or client where Aasaan Tech could showcase the impact and how it changed from the way it was before till now, which brand or which project would you quote?
More than projects, I think companies like United One Infra, companies like HCP, companies like Millennium Engineering. So these are all companies who are doing a turnover of 700, 800, 500 or crores. They took us a level up. All right. So while we were still at SMEs, we were trying to broaden the horizon of problem solving. These companies came. They said that आप problem superficially कर रहे हो. आप अभी depth of penetration दो हमें. So for a very simple example, you order a material, it comes on site. You raised an indent, it came on site, and now I find that there is some, the vendor is being able to fulfill the order partially. तो वो अभी आधा ऑर्डर जो है वो मुझे किसी और को देना है. So superficially you are not being able to manage these things. But these legacy solutions which people had to adopt, and they kind of understood construction for 25 odd years. Alright, so उन लोगों से ये प्रॉब्लम उन्होंने सॉल्व करवा के लिया था. And प्रॉब्लम नॉट बीइंग सॉल्व वर्सेस अ बेटर यूजर एक्सपीरियंस में कोई प्रॉब्लम नॉट बीइंग सॉल्व वाला ही प्रेफर, मतलब प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाए वही चीज को प्रेफर करेगा. So these are the companies that came. They said that okay, you guys are passionate, you guys are doing good job, and we trust you. Because from the problems that you've solved for us superficially, the intent that you've shown, we want to back you, and you build this, and we will utilize it. And that is where when a Millennium Engineers happened, we kind of got a boost. We kind of got a jetpack on our bags and raised above the bar. So investor money is amazing, and it gives you a lot of validation. But revenue is the juiciest money that can, that can, validate a lot of stuff and, make you feel happy.
Also, with these kind of clients, I'm sure you would have also learned during the kind of any customization would be needed, or any kind of problem there may be that you must have not, not have taken over in Aasaan Tech. Did during these kind of journey with such clients helped you also strengthen your products?
So yes, of course. Now the question was always, so being a civil engineer, the learning curve wasn't very difficult. If someone from the contracting business came and told me कि यार आपके solution में ये चीज नहीं हो पा रही है, so I knew it कि हाँ ये नहीं हो पा रही है, ये practical problem है. We have it in our product roadmap. But we haven't been able to allot bandwidth for solving this problem. Now there are so many things in the product roadmap, because in the drawing room, your whiteboard, as huge as it can get, is all filled with all ideas. Right. Which one to pursue first? So what fundamental approach we adopted is that when our existing customer who has decided to trust and back us feels that this is a problem that is a missing link, which is there on that whiteboard, we take it up immediately and deploy resources to build that and deliver. So that is a perfect validation, na? Instead of assumption based development, if you are if you are coming across a problem actually right in front of you, then you are building a solution that is well curated to address that problem. If you are building based on an assumption, you might end up in a situation where some link goes missing. So this also helped us organically build a solution that can very well relate with the real-time site problems, because वो site problem पे आने के बाद, so we learned to row when we reached the shore. We didn't, learn to row in a swimming pool. Because when you reach the shore, the problems that you face in the sea are way too difficult than what you would have faced in a pool. So ये चीज, and it all happened organically. Not that it was a master plan. The master plan was only कि हाँ ये सारे problems है. अब with whatever limited bandwidth and time you have to kind of prioritize what goes on the top of the list. Right. Is the situation where our customer is encountering a problem. Right. And when you do that, there is a customer delight. कि मेरा प्रॉब्लम था, इसने इसको सीरियसली लिया, इसने उसको सॉल्व करके भी दिया, थोड़ा टाइम लिया, थोड़ा पैसा भी शायद मांग के ले लिया उसने मुझसे, बट मेरा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व किया. सो व्हेन आई हैव बिगर प्रॉब्लम्स, when I am also going to scale from 10x to 20x to 15x. So I have someone, a vendor alongside with me, who is willing to run that race and be there to address every problem that I face from time to time.
So I'm sure our viewers would love to know which was the recent Marquee project, client or developer that integrated Aasaan Tech in their system and it created a good impact for them. If you could tell us like a few case studies or a recent one that can make us understand how Aasaan Tech showcase an impact for these particular brands.
Sure. So, a business is built by the trust that has been levied by the consumers and the customers. And, we've been very grateful to all of them. Not only have they bestowed trust on us, but, they've helped us level up. They have, appreciated the passion and supported to level up. Aryan Infra, United One Infra, these have been our legacy businesses जो 6 साल से हमारा solution use करके 10x, 5x grow कर चुके हैं as businesses. Millennium Engineers, HCP, these are our marquee clients who have, who are, 500, 600 crore, 700 crore turnover businesses. So, quoting one would really not do justice to us. But if for the viewers, Millennium Engineers is a very big learning curve for us. We went when we were chosen. They were sitting in front of a situation where they have 1,200 employees. They want to migrate from a legacy ERP. Thinking of adopting a SAP, and amidst problems of resistance from the end users. And wanting to build something which is very curated to solve their problems. Not that very special problems. The problems were pretty much generic, but they were at a scale and volume. So we went in as an ERP, where managing their materials, managing subcontractors and labor and everything was what we started with. But while we were superficially touching these problems and solving them for SMEs, the mid-market, a business like Millennium, who is a civil contractor and doing 700-800 crores, they require problems to be solved at depth and at core. So to solve an end-to-end problem for these scale of businesses was a challenge which they helped us pursue and execute. It was a journey. I mean, it took us 9 odd months to align with their expectations. And even as on date today, that journey from being 90% in line with the expectation of client to 100% is an ongoing one, because the client is also becoming big at the same time.
Right.
तो उसके problems भी बढ़ते जा रहे हैं. तो by the time you reach 98, the goalpost is changed. So now we are working on solving their problems for them using AI, by OCR AI की कोई वर्कर आ रहा है तो सिर्फ उसका आधार आईडी मैंने स्कैन कर लिया तो उससे सारा डिटेल्स फिल करके वर्कर का रजिस्ट्रेशन होके आईडी कार्ड सीधा थर्मल प्रिंटर से निकल जाएगा. The thermal printer is also integrated with our solution. And problems like any document that is coming in, it be it a bill, be it an invoice, it is powered by a QR code that has been generated through Aasaan. And you just have to scan that and it sits on the desk of the person who is required to do a physical verification of it. So making things move swiftly and solving those problems step by step, problem after problem, has been the journey where we decided to pursue with these companies that have also assured that problems in general for these scales and volumes are addressed. So that has been quite a learning curve.
So as you mentioned about AI, I want to understand AI is currently the buzzword, right? Everyone has quickly even started saying that we are creating AI solutions for our construction or our Proptech ecosystem and everything on those lines. Even every other sector is doing that. From your vantage point, I want to understand how AI can actually transform construction ecosystem in terms of the operation level when we are talking about these labors, when we talk about the construction sites and everything. Do you really think the AI can help create more efficiency, more easy access to all these things which we are discussing on for both the leaders and the workers everywhere? Where do you see AI is going to enter in construction?
Yeah, so again, $1 million question, when we, for every such kind of an instance, the idea is that you go back to the basics. What is a tech solution doing? Fundamentally, it is doing two things. Data collection, that is filling a form on your laptop or through your mobile phone, or filling some data. So that is data entry. And second is data representation, that you see dashboards, you see reports, PDFs, Excels, any assistance using AI in these two fundamental processes will create immense value. So data collection is currently, the current scenario of data collection is garbage in. Data collection या तो time पे नहीं हो रहा है, या तो जो हो रहा है वो गलत हो रहा है.
Okay.
So if AI can be used to ensure that collection of data or input data is happening on a real-time basis, automated with an accuracy more than the possibility of human error, then automatically garbage in is converted to efficiency in.
Right.
So what we are doing, what focus fundamentally we are trying to do is कि ये human intervention को जितना हो सके mitigate कर दो. Tech में any data entry that happens is governed through a maker checker system. कि supervisor ने डाला data, engineer ने approve कर दिया. So someone enters, the manager approves. So ये जो data enter कोई करता है ना, वो AI कर ले. And human intervention is only required for checking. Maker is AI, checker is a human. This is what we have tried to encompass and achieve to a certain extent by using OCR AI, by using amazing call bots, human-like call bots, which has also become very common these days.
Yes.
And we are also integrating with solutions that are creating possibilities of making digital twins through helmet mounted cameras, through body cameras, and analyzing these videos to give outputs of quality defects, safety issues. So your snag list is automatically created. Maker का काम हो गया. अब सिर्फ चेकर को देखना है कि वो quality issues resolve हो रहे हैं कि नहीं. When the vendor is sending a bill, he just has to send it on your official WhatsApp business account number. तो OCR से वो bill के सारे details fetch करके GRN create हो जाएगा, परचेज ऑर्डर क्रिएट हो जाएगा. पेटी कैश अगर मैंने कुछ स्पेंड किया है तो मैं सिर्फ उसके वाउचर का या बिल का एक फोटो ले लूंगा तो पेटी कैश का एंट्री हो गया. So these call bots, so in features of our sales CRM, the lead journey from MQL, a marketing qualified lead से sales qualified lead करके site visit कराने का काम these call bots are being able to do, and they're being utilized by big construction Proptech property developers. Payment collection. So wherever there is redundancy in calling these problems, we've built a call bot that will negotiate with your vendors for collecting rates. So you send out request for quotation. अब रिक्वेस्ट फॉर कोटेशन ऑटोमेट करने का प्रोसेस सबने बना दिया कि यार वेंडर को एक लिंक चले जाएगा ईमेल पे, उस पे वो क्लिक करके फॉर्म भर ले. बिग कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग कंपनीज आर सेइंग कि यार मेरा वेंडर कंफर्टेबल है फोन पे रेट देने को, उसको ये फॉर्म ओपन करना ही नहीं है. सो गुड, एन एआई कॉल बॉट कॉल्स दैट वेंडर, fills the form. And the smart thing that it does is that when it is calling the third vendor, only if our customer wants it, based on the rates that are given by the previous two vendors, it will automatically negotiate with that. कि सर आप जो रेट प्रोवाइड कर रहे हो वो it's not market competitive. Offer a better price, to win this order. आप L3 हो, आप L4 हो अभी तक. So, you are out of all that stress.
Have you already executed this?
So, we are doing a POC for this particular vendor part, but, the pre-sales and post-sales payment collection and lead qualification is something which we've executed and implemented.
Nice. So if you have to quote few brands whom you have executed this for, could you let us?
So the OCR AI we have just given across all our customers.
Okay.
So it's not something that we are so you can't go and charge separately for AI. All right. If you are selling it for X, if you are selling your solution for X, you go and sell it for 1.2x. But you cannot go and say that, you want these AI features, then we are, pricing it differently. So we didn't go for that strategy. OCR AI, we've given it out, without any cost implication. And I think 6,000 to 7,000 odd documents monthly are being scanned onto our system to absorb data through OCR AI. Call bots have been implemented by a couple of developers who are, in the mid-market section. Vardhaman Samriddhi, based out of Pune, is, one of them for their project of Optima Residency. And we've also built a Chat GPT kind of an LLM that sits on your construction business data, your ERP data. So you use Chat GPT, you ask questions, and it responds to your prompt based on the knowledge of Google or all the search engines available on the market. So ये search engine आपके database के ऊपर से it will run the intelligence and give you crisp 100 200 words actionable advice.
So how's the feedback have been flowing from all these brands who have taken these services?
They are loving it. And it's also a learning curve. So it's kind of been 2 months since we've deployed this. So there has been a learning curve. They come in, कैसे यार आपका AI ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर दे नहीं पा रहा है. So we go back, we kind of fix things, and we've built an MCP servers. So it kind of has to go and understand the question and fetch the information from the corresponding data table, kind of run it, pass through the intelligence of these LLMs, and give you information which is really crisp and relevant. So it's been a learning curve, but we've got amazing validation because customer acquisition has increased. Okay. So for a context solution, I think mostly people would agree that 2 to 3 months is a normal sales cycle. Right. So the kind of these sales cycles have come down to 15 days to 25 days to a month for us. And for people who feel that अरे यार डेमो तो बहुत बढ़िया दिखा दिया इन्होंने, so ये एक्चुअल में हो पाएगा कि नहीं? Because there's a journey of building trust, right? So we've also ventured into paid POCs. So Alcov Realty is a very prominent property developer based out of Kolkata, and we are running a paid POC over there where we are kind of helping them solve these problems and capitalizing on AI. Their founder, Mr. Yashashvi Shroff, is tech wizard, and he really is so much passionate and wants to build his company that is driven on tech. So that's one very amazing opportunity which we are looking at. You want to give solutions, but there has to be receptiveness for that as well, right?
True.
We want to build the best tech solution that will solve all the problems with all the passion, flooded. But if your customer doesn't want that, then you are just, it is a ego. It is a founder ego that you are pampering.
No, I understand. But also, as I was quoting this to few other founders, what I've realized in real estate especially, and even in construction, the second generation who has come in, right? They are very open to technology. They are very open to adopting and integrating in their particular brand. So do you think this is actually helping the ecosystem?
Of course. Of course. And if you look at the fundamentals, people who have driven business over 20, 30 odd years, there's a prejudice that you've built,
right,
in the processes that you have built. You want to take pride in that. Also, if you empathize with their situation, that they built a business, they got everything that they desired out of a good life, maybe even more than what they would have thought of from that business. So they are in a zone where they want to kind of take it easy. But then, there is a generation that looks beyond. For them, the benchmark is what has been achieved by their the legacy pass, the people who have passed on the legacy. So from that benchmark to taking it ahead and scaling it to make it to give it a mark is a journey which they have to pursue, and they are well aware because they have been in that journey, right? Anyone who is in the mid 30s, early 40s at this age has actually seen how tech changed things upside down. Right. So he has every penny to bet on tech. True. He'll be like, I don't know how it will happen, but it will happen. Tech is going to, revolutionize stuff. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, selling tech to a owner is not at all a challenge. वो तो aligned ही है. आप जाके उसको pitch करोगे कि मैं ये कर दूंगा, हाँ मुझे तो करना ही है. But how are you going to make sure that whatever you discuss with me is really going to happen? And with the team. True. So these concepts, I'm going to tell you, these concepts of paid POCs are going to, kind of take a grip now. Right. Businesses that run on the fundamental कि मैं पहले सर आपका ट्रस्ट जीतूंगा, फिर आपका बिजनेस जीतूंगा. That will be the ones who the businesses on the buying side will really appreciate. Agreed. True. That is something which, even we founders, when we talk, when we catch up and, within the same fraternity, because more than competition, it is about empathy right now. कि यार तुम्हारी दाल गल रही है क्या, मेरी तो नहीं हो पा रही है. What is it that, you are doing differently? And thankfully, this ecosystem has built the culture where people are not, cutting each other. True. They're trying to explore opportunities where they can collaborate. Yes. Where they can, become a 1+1 and, turn out to do the 11 instead of 2. True. So we've done that, we've explored and, partnered with solutions that are, making a mark, who have that ERP component missing. So when they go to a customer and say, but ये मेरे ERP के साथ integrate कैसे करोगे? So there, we come into the picture and we're complementing each other by addressing the same TG. So these kind of things will, kind of gain appreciation in the consumers in the forthcoming times. So Hemal, it's been 8 years to Aasaan Tech. I want to understand two things from you. First, I'm sure our viewers would want to know what's the team size, and you haven't raised any amount till now. You have been bootstrapped. It's a commendable thing that you have done. So what is the next step when it comes to fundraising? So we are a super team of 20 people. All right. Everyone's passionate, and the core is the core DNA is professional empathy. I think I would want to give credit to whatever we have been able to build and pursue till date to the entire team. One very, one amazing pat that I would want to give on my back myself is that I haven't been served a resignation letter in the company as on date till today, right from 2016. Wow. Okay. Right. So जो लोग साथ में थे, उनकी शादियां हो गई, उनके बच्चे हो गए, and it's like a family. And not a lala attitude professionally, but when it is driven by empathy, then most of the problems are solved. True. आप अपने कस्टमर की जगह पे खुद को रख के, अपने वेंडर की जगह पे खुद को रख के, अपने कॉलीग की जगह पे खुद को रख के अगर देखते हो तो फिर ये हो ही जाता है. You are dealing with humans and you are doing that with your beloved ones, ना? For your wife, for your brother, for your children. It becomes easier. So with by probably the end of this year, we want to focus a lot on digital marketing and sales. To be very honest, in this modern day of digital business acquisitions, we have kind of been backward by obtaining business either through word of mouth And a big, thank and shout out to RealtyNXT that we've been getting customers through these events. And now we want to, flaunt our strengths and build that trust, let the world know what amazing tech marvel Aasaan has built for itself and for all the customers or for all the people in the fraternity that are struggling with problems. So we are planning to scale that number to 35 odd team members by the end of this financial year. Fundraising, we're very sure of what we want to do now. All right. We want to scale geographically in the mid-market, number one, with what we've built. We want to raise close to $1 million for doing 3 fundamental things. Scaling geographically to tier 2 cities and, trying to spread our hands in the international markets in the growing countries. Number 2, capitalize on the tech, while we are still exploring, how AI, how ML can make things Aasaan, you actually, go and experiment. When you're bootstrapped, one thing which a very good founder where I moonlighted told me that Himal, when you are when you're walking the bootstrapped way, you don't have the privilege of taking risks, creative risks. All right, you think that this can work, but you have to really take very calculated steps and you have to see कि अच्छा ये इन लोगों के लिए ये मार्केट में वर्क किया है, वो कॉम्पिटिटर के लिए वर्क किया है, वो केस स्टडी के बेसिस पे then you have to take the step. So you will always be a step behind and lose on the benefits of being an early entrant. So that is one opportunity that I want to seize and give life to the ideas that come from the team. Third thing is that the 4 modules, the core pillars, that is ERP, your CRM, your project management solution, and HR and labor management solution. We want to identify them as independent tools and entities. Get people who are head of, who are going to lead that business, probably like 4 small startups, have people who are, coming in with that founder grit and focus on the L2 target audience.
Okay.
So for example, your L1 target audience are my contractors, are my property developers, are my project management consultancies. Now when I say contractor, I refer to the entire fraternity, specialized contractors, interior contractors, subcontractors, etc. The L2 target audience would be the stakeholders of these contractors. So property developers will have 500 contractors working under him across the entire landscape. So ये 500 contractors को we want to go out and sell services like digital marketing, like WhatsApp.
These are the channel partners.
These are the channel partners.
Okay.
All right. So when you talk of capitalizing on the vendors that are associated with our customers, मेरे कस्टमर के जो वेंडर्स है या पार्टनर्स है, उन लोगों को हम क्या सेल कर सके? How do we monetize through that L2? Right. So if you're talking of labor and manpower or human resource management system, the L2 over there is your employee or your site labor. तो वो साइट लेबर को मैं क्या वैल्यू ऐड देकर वहां से मोनेटाइजेशन कर सकूं? So these 4 independent entities में जो टीम डिप्लॉय होगी will focus on the L2 go to market. L1 go to market तो आसान कर ही रहा है. So this is the third faucet that I want to explore and become a sales flywheel and a GTM machine. So aspirations, yes, but fundamentally, I want to make sure that I stick to the core values of being firmly grounded while your eyes soars the sky.
And by making everything Aasaan as well.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So I want to understand, when you are talking about competitors, what is the 3 USP differentiator for Aasaan which is making it, be standing apart from the current competitors in the market? So what will be those 3 USP if the investors, founders and our viewers would want to know?
One is to relate with their problems and be willing and open to kind of fine-tune the solution in a way that addresses and solves their problems.
Right.
All right. So the ability to kind of, if someone comes and says that yaar mujhe ye chota sa cheez missing link hai, so maybe it would take some time, but the intent to live up to the expectation, only of course if it is within the bucket of the product roadmap that we have. But the ability to do that. Number 2, capitalizing on AI. Right. While people are still wondering how to facilitate that, understanding the DNA of construction and tech, ki bhai data collection or data representation mein, if you are mixing AI and using it as a catalyst, it can work wonders. So let's start with that, and then see how it manifests and figure out through the fundamental approach of learning to row when I reach the shore. And third thing is solving the problem of fragmented processes and data silos by having everything under one roof, while it talks to all your utility solutions like your WhatsApp, your ERPs, your other CRMs, your accounting solutions, Google Maps, and all those tabs that you keep hopping to solve your problem, and bringing all of it under one. So Double Tick has been our WhatsApp channel partner, and they have again helped us scale to a next level. They've also pushed us. It is also driven by a relation, right? As I said, I quoted, right, that creative risks wali baat. So it was the founder of Double Tick, Deepak, and Shivam, where I moonlit during a certain patch, the COVID period. Had an amazing learning curve over there. To build their sales team, to see how a business works when it is funded. So they had just raised funds and had me on board over there.
Nice.
So we have integrated with WhatsApp so deeply that Aasaan app opens inside your WhatsApp. One fundamental problem which people face is that when I want to onboard every stakeholder on the platform, my subcontractor or my consultant, I can't persuade them to go and use my app. A contractor cannot go and tell client ke sir aap mera app use karo. And even the other way around becomes a little difficult, even by all measures of a carrot and sticks used. But if that entire thing can be facilitated through WhatsApp, तो वो चीज penetrate हो जाएगा. So instead of them going and opening Aasaan app, they have to open WhatsApp, and on the official Meta verified business account of the customer whom we are serving to, they have just got to respond through trigger messages, which will open a WhatsApp flow, which will open a bot, and kind of execute the process of data entry. For example, if I am supplying material to a construction site, I just have to open the WhatsApp. I have to mention GRN or bill or challan. It will open a WhatsApp flow. It will ask me to upload the photo or a PDF of a GRN and bill and submit it. The OCR extracts the entire data, punches a GRN in the ERP, and gives a notification on your WhatsApp that your material GRN has been successfully created. Click here to download.
See, I understand these are very seamless solutions that it's providing. But the question comes with everyone's mind is about the data then. How the data is going to be maintained, the privacy in terms of safety, in terms of not leakage happening. How does then Aasaan make sure of this so that even the clients understand that data is somewhere safe with the Aasaan as well?
So, like most of tech businesses, we host the entire data on Amazon Web Services, on a prominently known cloud servers. The documentation or the understanding, the NDAs that we sign off are a second layer of data protection that is given to them. The NDAs that we sign off with our vendors, the NDAs or the SaaS agreements that we sign off with our customers, these things ensure that there is no data leakage that will happen. Put all of that aside. When you think of it from a business perspective, we are not here to drive a business out of our customers' data.
Right.
हम आपसे पैसा मांग के कमा लेंगे, but we don't want to monetize your data and go out in the market. If a narrative of that is being created also, and if even we are trying a glimpse of it, it's a small market. Right? अगर ये चीज कोई कर भी रहा है, तो what will essentially happen is that every person will refrain from even engaging with you. So I'll tell you a very classic example. In the early days, when we were positioning Hajri, the attendance and labor management solution, we got it was back in 2017 when Startup India program had also just emerged.
Right.
And at that time, the Prime Minister himself was doing a video conference and taking 3 minutes to understand what Startup India nominated startups are doing, and we got a privilege on it was some 3rd or 5th of March of 2018 where all the startups who are recognized were called up, and we did a VC, and in that conversation Modi, when we pitched Hajri to Modi ji, he said that there is 75,000 crores of PF fund lying with the government, जो government को ही नहीं पता है कि किसको देना है. There is something which you guys can really do that.
Right.
I was so excited. I walked to the government offices, PF office इधर बांद्रा में ही है, and saw if something could be done out of it. One interesting thing that happened was the moment I started pitching this or telling our customers that we are going to do this, they started refraining कि भाई तुम ये सब डायरेक्शन में जाने वाले हो जहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट तुम्हारे डेटा को कैपिटलाइज करेगा, तो हम आपका सोल्यूशन यूज नहीं करना चाहते. And this was the first time when I came across this conflict and fundamental understanding of how much important data privacy and security is going to be vital in executing this business. So to be very honest, while the intent of the business is the only thing and the trust are the only things that are going to ensure it, and the documents or the agreements that you do are going to supplement data privacy in general.
So you've been bootstrap company, but I'm sure you would have been very much active when it comes to interacting with other investors as well as startup founders. I want to understand from you, when it comes to Proptech ecosystem as well construction tech ecosystem in India, according to you, where do you feel the investors are still a bit hesitant when it comes to putting capital in a built world environment?
So again, it's a very it's $1 million question, and even I have been trying to understand that. Based on what I have understood, even when I participated in events like the Big Five in Dubai, I participated in it back in 2017 and even in 2024 right now. I met international investors over there. So a VC likes to bet his money on innovation.
Right.
In a country like India, distribution is more important a bit, or I would say more important actually than innovation. So, there is a little bit, conflict in interest. So when we go and tell a VC, they say that, it's too much of a crowded space. My per se on it is that the pie is such huge that the current crowd is not being able to swallow and digest it. While we say that ERP or project management solution में बहुत सारे players हैं, how many total construction companies in India have actually been able to adapt tech? वो तो नहीं हो पाया है ना. तो there has to be some way in which funds can be facilitated to help the early adoption and penetration of tech solutions into the tier 2 cities and construction companies who are in the SME and mid-market segment.
Right.
How it will happen is a question that I am probably finding an answer to. But that is one faucet where I feel we still need to work together as an ecosystem. कि हम distribution को कैसे ensure करें, and not only from the perspective of sales. हाँ, मैंने channel partners कर दिए, मैंने ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया, मेरे top line बढ़ाने के लिए fine. But मैंने ये ensure किया कि इंदौर की या पालघर जैसे डिस्ट्रिक्ट की या बिली मोरिया जैसे छोटे से डिस्ट्रिक्ट के सारे कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स जो है 50 to 60% ऑफ देम आर एटलीस्ट यूजिंग एन ERP or a HRMS system. Everyone uses Tally. So adoption for accounting happening through tech has happened quite probably a decade back at a very decent volume. How did it happen? Because accounting student has been taught Tally in his curriculum. So AutoCAD penetrated as a tech solution into construction since 2010.
Yeah.
Because it started from there. If it is pushed in correctly at the core, if you are आप जो बीज रोपोगे वही फल पाओगे, वो वाला ideology है. Rather than betting in India at least and betting your money on driving innovations. Figure out a way in which distribution becomes sustainable for a startup or for a business and quick. Right. And you have that axiom understanding of your buyer where the leader of a construction business is totally aligned with the idea of tech adoption. तो वो bottleneck को तो तुमने solve कर दिया है. Though he is not aware, but at least he has, कि हाँ मैं पढ़ा लिखा नहीं हूँ, मैंने 8वीं पढ़ा है, but मैं ये चीज़ से तो convinced हूँ कि tech मेरे business में एक revolution लेके आ पाएगा.
Right.
So this is a very good benefit, right? Selling to them is not going to be a challenge. Just implementing it at his office is going to be a bottleneck. How you going to figure that out is going to probably have the biggest piece in the pie.
So in India, we are noticing a lot of family offices and developers are now acting like a VC. So I want to understand, when this scenario is happening, how will the funding game will change for a founder like a Proptech founder like you or a Contech founder?
So it will take things to the next level. Fundamentally, because you mentioned property developers and construction company leaders are trying to become VCs.
Right.
So you have people on the other side of table who have been with the problem over decades.
True.
All right. So they are not just gonna come in with a check. They are gonna come in with all the insights required to make that transition happen.
Right.
They are gonna be people who have empathy for the businesses who are struggling with the problems that they had faced 20-30 years back when they started as a business. So when this is organic, right? And this is a consultative engagement. कि आपको जो प्रॉब्लम है उसकी मेडिसिन मेरे पास है, आप ये मेडिसिन ले लो. And when a VC comes in to give that medicine, it is always going to be backed with wisdom, with the correct knowledge of what medicine has to be given, what solution has to be given. And I think any investor looks out for the zest, for the grit, and for the passion that is there in the founder. I feel if I have to put myself in their shoes, I think they would want to see a version of themselves which was 20 years back, which manifested into such a huge business that is capable of acquiring a huge market share in the country and being in a position to back founders to bring about a revolution for the modern age. So this is a perfect blend. This is synergizing towards the correct direction. Even we as Aasaan, we fundamentally want to work with investors or engage with investors who come with a background that will help us grow as a business and as a product. So when I say as a product, we want to make sure that the solution problem fit is very crisp. And when I say as a business, the the profitability, the revenue, the approach of the approach that enables early tech adoption very seamlessly without a high ticket size entry, but is sustainable enough to recover and become profitable in the longevity. So this kind of engagement, I think, is very important. It's a complicated space. The Proptech and the context space in India or even around is not as simple as a supply chain or a logistics business or a manufacturing business also, because there are so many stakeholders involved.
True.
All right. Even if I have to do finishing of a room, there have to be 5 to 6 contractors who are expertise in different things that have to come together, play the relay race and execute it. So this is a complex scenario, and someone who is who has been into it is going to have the capability of understanding and solving it correctly.
I agree. Also, lastly, I want to understand from you is if Aasaan succeeds, how will the daily life of site engineer or project manager will look different from 5 years from now?
I think the value that we would want to create, or the day when it's a very deep question that you've asked, right? As a civil engineer, I did my diploma, I did my engineering. There was a plan of inheriting a legacy business, but I pivoted into building Aasaan. So this journey is meant to be. All right, I feel it is destiny. And for me, I feel that as a construction engineering expert, it is dharma to take construction in my lifetime at a level ahead from where it was. We all are doing that. Even tech हम लोग facilitate ही कर रहे हैं ना, इस ज़माने को एक कदम आगे लेके जा रहे हैं through our lifetime. So maybe when the day dooms, I would love to see in a very crisp way कि a civil engineer logs in at 10 a.m. which is at his proper office time before, and logs out at 6 p.m. And for all the 8 to 9 hours he's worked, he has constantly delivered value. He has left out of his office feeling कि आज मैंने actual में बहुत value deliver किया, मैंने clerical काम नहीं किया, मैंने blame game नहीं किया, मैंने गाली गलौज नहीं किया, मैंने 8 hours बैठ के ये client, consultant, contractor, property developer के interests को एक side रख के ये project के interest को prioritize किया. The end consumer, if I'm building a road, then I have thought and empathized with the person who's going to walk or drive his car through it. If I've built a building, I'm going to empathize with the person who is going to, invest the money of his lifetime and call it a home. So when things work on those lines, all the interests of all the stakeholders automatically start aligning.
Right.
All right. So I think if that is a day that I would love to see, and any impact that we can build and deliver in achieving that joyful day would give me happiness and satisfaction to its peak. I feel that all the contact startups, or businesses are not competing. They are all aligned to one common objective of taking construction sector a step ahead from where they started. So, I mean, it's too philosophical, but, it all began with that.
Right.
So, it's been a part of the journey, numbers started, happening. Because this attitude was there. So at times it becomes difficult for me to comprehend, because it is an emotion that has been driving this more than the numbers or the profitability. So I think I would like to sum it up, and I hope it is a contextual answer that I have given.
I'm sure you will be reaching to those points. So Hemal, I'll start with our rapid fire, which is quite famous. I keep saying that because we get some interesting answers, because you can't overthink the question. You have to immediately say whatever the first thought comes to your mind when I ask these questions. So the first question is, one Indian developer you would want to collaborate if given chance tomorrow, and why?
Marathon Realty. Because I worked as an employee over there. I have had an amazing learning curve, and I feel that I want to give back and make them amazingly tech driven.
Okay. Real estate brand in India you think is doing something truly innovative?
It has to be Prestige. They have, they've covered the faucets for all the scale of buyers.
Right.
And I think they're positioning them in all themselves in all the geographies across pan India. So they're doing an incredible job as a real estate business, I'm sure.
So if you could have a dinner with one Indian real estate leader, who would it be and why?
Not focused to real estate leader, but I would want to have dinner with Anant Ambani.
And why?
Because I want to, distribute Aasaan like Jio.
Okay, like that. So a city in India you think will become the Proptech capital of the next decade?
I would love if, that city is Pune. I see, based on the, the business dynamics, I see there is amazing adaptability. They understand the developers, and every business owner or leader over there understands how important and how the tech can be implemented.
Right. A second generation developer you believe is going to redefine the industry?
Alcov Realty, Yashashvi Shroff. I am amazed the way, the vision that he has. And we've implemented. I think it has been so far hands down the best and the smoothest implementation that we ever had.
Okay. So one PropTech context startup in India that impresses you outside Aasaan?
Clairco. But, because they've actually done tech with sustainability.
Right.
While I feel, everyone who's working on sustainability by replacing, carbon footprint heavy materials, but then there isn't much tech into it. Clairco has done a lot of tech analysis, and and the founder is amazing, by the way.
So developer or investor, who's tougher to convince?
Investor.
Okay. One regulation in India that if fixed would unlock massive PropTech growth?
Tech, having a system, an ERP at least on every project, the data of it being centralized and governed by a body who will, ensure that holistic development is done in terms of carbon footprints, in terms of everything.
Right. So during entrepreneur journey, I asked this to everyone. I'm sure there would have been some people who would have given you best advice and some people who would have given you the worst advice. Not necessarily you would have followed that, but when you look back, it makes you laugh that someone actually advised you. So let's start with the good advice first.
Bhargav Dave, founder of Visaline, who is also an alumni, he gave me an amazing advice that, if you are going to grow by the path that you wish to, it has to be to a pretty good extent in a bootstrapped way.
Okay.
And the worst advice was by one of the investors at a very early stage, who said that ये construction वगैरह छोड़ दो, you look at becoming doing a fintech startup, or doing something which is which is the buzz of the market at that time. I felt that I couldn't have done that. How can you expect Sachin Tendulkar to sing a song? I'm not comparing myself, but that's not my core expertise.
True.
How will I love doing what I do every morning and strive to be the best at it?
No, I agree, and that's why I asked you in the start that mostly what we are seeing nowadays, the founders are just going for the glamour vertical because it's getting them quick funding, even though if they are not completely from that background, be e-commerce or be fintech. So I get why the investor was pushing, because that kind of trend we are seeing now also, which is happening.
Correct.
Right. So one global Proptech or context startup you admire or track closely. It can be a
Archdesk.
And why?
Because we want to be like them and maybe compete them one day.
Okay. So I'll come back to that question again. A book or a podcast or any TV or movie, TV series I mean, that shaped your thinking as an entrepreneur.
A movie called as Rocket Singh. All right. I feel that business is about people.
Right.
The numbers start rolling in automatically. I think what was shown in a movie is too dramatic. But the idea or the fundamentals are that when you focus on fundamentals, all the other things automatically start falling in place. Business is built by people.
True.
And that is why, our core DNA is professional empathy. If you can put yourself in the place of your, beloved ones, then why not do the same for the people with whom you are spending your 9 most impactful hours in the day? And, solve problems and make the life easier for everyone and make this world a better place to live in.
Okay. So in one word, the future of construction technology according to you?
Bright.
Right.
The future of construction technology, I am sure, is going to be very bright.
Right. Okay. So lastly, I want to ask, and I'm sure you can advise our viewers who are students as well, who are aspiring to become an entrepreneur in PropTech and Contech ecosystem. What is the key insight and advice that you wish to share with the aspiring entrepreneurs when they are looking into getting involved in this kind of ecosystem?
Tanmay Bhatt said that, so I approached to him for investments, and he wrote a message that, while you have chosen to be a founder, it is the most difficult job that you have chosen to do in life. If fundamentally a founder का काम ये है कि problem ढूंढना और उसको solve करना. So you have to stick to that fundamentals. It's not a jazzy world where, if I'm an entrepreneur, I'll be driving a Porsche or, buying, amazing real estate. That's the success and the glorification part of it. And most of the successful entrepreneurs, by the time that they've reached over that stage, have stopped valuing all of it. They feel कि अरे हाँ यार इतना सारा दुनिया देख लिया कि ये सब चीज़ तो ठीक है अब. So the story of a founder begins with a problem. All right, you have to feel the problem and have to have the grit to and सारी जिद पकड़ के ये डिसाइड करना है कि ये प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करूंगा. द अप्रोच ऑफ बिल्डिंग, रेजिंग फंड्स एंड वैल्यूएशंस एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ फॉर एन अर्ली स्टेज एंटरप्रेन्योर, it's just glorification that is there. It's not fundamental, and it's kind of superficial. So I feel that if you stick to identifying problems and having the tenacity to solve them, you will end up doing something that you're going to be very proud of. I think basic necessities can be fulfilled in life with a very with limited resources that you have. Anything beyond that is just luxury, which is short-lived. The happiness also which you achieved by pursuing all those luxury, वो खत्म हो जाता. But the feeling that impacts lives is something that leaves a legacy. People will miss you and remember you for that. I think that's an amazing way of winding up a career of your lifetime. So if one thing that I would be capable is the attitude that I had when I decided to pursue the journey. And it was to focus on the problem, put your heads down, and by all means make sure that you solve it.
So thank you, Himil, for joining us today on Let's Talk. It was lovely having you here and knowing about Aasaan journey, which I'm sure will aspire and inspire a lot of students, a lot of entrepreneurs, because it's been 8 years and we wish you more success coming on your way this year as well next. And thank you so much sharing about all these insights about your company, about your targets, about the journey you have been in.
Thank you so much. It couldn't be more better. I think this conversation will be one that I'm going to remember for a real long time in my life. Thank you, Kritika. You are doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much. Thank you.